Welcome to Rich's Era Washington, Gregorian calendar month 31, Reuters. Former President Donald Trump lawyers on WED wanted to downplay the federal government discovery of extremely classified records within his American state estate, telling a Decide that presidential records by their terribly nature are sensitive. Before we tend to continue, please subscribe and hit the notification bell for more updates. The filing comes only one day before Trump legal team can determine against a U.S. justice in an exceedingly judicature in West Palm Beach in a bid by Trump to convert U.S. District Decide Aileen Cannon to appoint a special master to review the materials confiscated by the law enforcement agency from his home on August 8. Merely put, the notion that presidential records would contain sensitive info ought to have not been cause for alarm, his attorneys aforementioned. The filing by Trump team came lower than 24 hours once the justice freed a scalding 54-page document with exhibits outlining in public for the primary time proof it obtained that Trump could have tried to impede its investigation by deliberately making an attempt to hide documents. In it, prosecutors said Trump representatives incorrectly certified that they had conducted an intensive search, which all records tuned into a grand jury subpoena had been came back once law enforcement agency agents and a prime justice official paid a visit to Mar-a-Lago in Gregorian calendar month to retrieve the materials. At that visit, Trump lawyer additionally prohibited government investigators from gap or trying within a number of the boxes that Trump unbroken inside one amongst his storerooms, they said. The department ultimately determined to hunt court approval for a research warrant once the FBI developed proof of attainable obstruction. The government developed evidence that a search restricted to the storage room wouldn't have uncovered all the classified documents at the premises, prosecutors said. The government additionally developed proof that government records were probably hid and far away from the storeroom, which efforts were likely taken to impede the government's investigation. The law enforcement agency later recovered over 33 boxes and different items, as well as more than 100 pages marked as classified. It also found some classified documents in Trump table drawers, commingled along with his passports. Their location, it aforementioned, was relevant evidence for its investigation. The justice on weekday said it opposes Trump request for a special master and freelance third party generally appointed by a court in sensitive cases to review materials doubtless lined by privilege to make sure investigators don't improperly read them. Trump legal team has argued that the previous president needs to guard materials that would be subject to a legalism referred to as executive privilege, which might shield some presidential communications. The Justice Department, yet as several outside legal experts, have argued that the claim is illogical, which a former president cannot assert the privilege against a chief branch itself within the method Trump is attempting. Trump has no property interest in any presidential records, including classified records, confiscate from the premises, prosecutors told the court on weekday. On Wednesday, however, Trump lawyers insisted once more in their court filing that Trump continues to possess rights relating to the assertion of government privilege. Wednesday court filing notably failed to try and recommend that Trump had unclassified any of the fabric recovered from his home, despite previous claims by Trump on social media that he had done so. The filing took a swipe at the justice for gratuitously, as well as a photograph in its Tuesday filing of allegedly classified materials that had been pulled from an instrumentality and unfold across the ground for dramatic effect. Left unchecked, the Justice Department can impugn, leak, and publicize selective aspects of their investigation, Trump lawyers wrote. Expression: a special master is necessary.